Okay, for tonight we're actually going to make a beanie. I had a request for a beanie to show you how to do the ribbing. It's also going to be an opportunity to learn a new stitch. Our beanie's going to actually be made in type of a rectangle. I'll show you how to put it together. It's very simple. You're going to make a rectangle for an adult normal head. It's going to be 20 inches by 13 inches. You measure around the head of the person that you want it to be, and usually I subtract about an inch for the stretching, so then it's nice and secure. 13 inches about as tall as it normally is, but you can measure a hat that you have or however tall you want it to be. 13-inch gives it a nice little cuff at the bottom. So what we're going to do today is I've got my ruler, got my yarn. We're going to use a little different blue, and you can see I'm pulling it from the end without balling it up. Some old school people would say that's wrong, but I'm doing it anyway. There's always this yarn that kind of is wrapped around in this pretty little pattern. I clip it with just a cheap little hair clip from the grocery store. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm not really going to count my chains today. Remember, we're going to do our simple little slip stitch just like we always do. We always start that way. And we're just going to chain until we have about 13 inches. I got my ruler there, so we'll check it out. So let's go ahead and let's get started with the chaining. Okay, here we go. Keeping a hold of my material as I'm chaining along so that I don't lose track and I don't lose direction. I have this nice little steady pattern going here. You noticed my other videos, I talked about my thumb holding this stitch that's on my hook. You don't really need to worry about that so much when you're doing the chain because it's kind of a back and forth motion. You're not having to grab any extra yarn. You're just clicking along. Once again, readjusting my hand as I need to. We're getting there. This is just your 4-ply yarn, medium weight. As you can see, I started to have a little mistake there. If that's the case, make a few stitches. That way you can have something to compare it to, and you can see that it's okay. You just keep going. If it's not, you just pull it right out and go right ahead and repeat yourself. You're not going to hurt anything. If you get to the end and see that you made a mistake way back at the beginning, don't worry about it. We can figure that out. Do a few more chains here. It's like about 10 inches, but let's just double check. Oh, we're at 12 already. So let's go ahead and give it a few more. You get yourself a little practice making these beanies, and you could make 2 or 3 of them on a Sunday or a Saturday, some weekend when you have nothing to do. Go ahead and make yourself a few for gifts. They make great little gifts because everybody can use one. And then they know it's made by you. So that's about 14 inches. I'm going to back off just a couple because I like it to be just a little bit over 13 because we're going to bend it down. So we're at exactly 13 there. So remember, my working yarn is always towards the front. So there we go. Let's do one more stitch. Now, we're going to do what's called the half double crochet. You can make a beanie using single crochet, double crochet, triple crochet, even any stitch you want. The way you get the ribbing is we're going to do back loop only. For this first row though, I like to have a nice solid base. We're just going to do our normal. So we've got the one that's on our hook, which we ignore. We've got this chain and we've got this chain. Let's go into this chain. This isn't the normal way people are taught, but this is how I find to have a nice tight edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it around just like we're doing the double crochet. We're going to put that in there, but here's where the difference is. Pull that yarn through one. With the double crochet, you are going to then pull the yarn through these 2 loops, grab it again and pull it through the next 2 loops. For half double crochet, we just grab the yarn and pull it through all 3 of them at once. Very simple. Wrap it around, put it through that back loop just like we do with all of our beginning crochet, pull it through 3. Once again, I'm holding on to my work and pulling it down just a little bit just to give my hook room to get it through those 3 loops. Let me do a few more and you just watch how I'm doing it. Go through there, pull it back, pull it through. Go through there, pull it back, pull it through. Notice how it's just getting a very easy pull through everywhere. There's no forcing, there's no tugging, there's no pulling. As I pull right there, keep going. Here we go. Pull it through there. Okay, let's get back here. Keep going through there. Okay, I'm going to let you watch a few more and then I'm going to pause the video, get to the end of it, and I'll show you how to turn around and come back. So I'll just do a few more here so you can watch me do it. Okay, we're coming to the end of our row here. Hopefully you all were able to follow along and get to the end of the row smoothly. I'll just keep crocheting here and you just keep watching. You're going to have a little curly snake just like you do with most every stitch on that first row or 2. That is okay. Hopefully this blue yarn isn't difficult to see so you can see what I'm doing. Let me turn on another light here. If this is difficult, I might have to redo this in a different color, but let's see here. There we go. Let's see if that helps. Okay, wrap it around. Go into there. And in this case, I am doing my little trick where I hold all the yarn on the hook, because you've got 3 yarns on 3 loops on there and you don't want to lose them. So keep them on there, pull it through. Oops, see there, I was talking about splitting the yarn and I actually did that. So I had to back it up, pull it through again. Don't know how to make that light more comfortable for you guys. I hope this is easy to see. Not sure why I'm struggling tonight. There we go. Let's just keep going here. Okay, we're getting to the end now. Okay, got that last little stitch there. We want to make sure we get it in there. We don't want any tails there other than that. Okay, so now a lot of places will tell you to chain 2 and turn for a half double crochet. That's not always the prettiest end. So let's just try chaining 1 and then flip your work over. Once again, we're going to go into these little loops, but this time we're going to go into the top. But here's a trick for making a beanie so it's a little more stable. For the first stitch, don't go in the back loop. Just go right into that loop. So we've got our chain, we turned, so we've got this stitch right here. Let's make a half double crochet just right through those. Remember we talked about those 2 stitches? Right through that. That is only going to be done on the first and the last stitch. Now, here's where we learn how to do the ribbing. Remember the top of our little heart we talked about? You've got the front that's facing you, and you've got the back that's facing away. Now in the half double crochet, got a little bit different look to it, but you'll always have this little top that looks like the hearts, just like the chain you did to start with. What we're only going to be worried about is this back loop. The back of the loop on every one of them. See that right there? We're just going to go into that. So let me show you how. So we go wrap our yarn, go just that, grab that black back loop. It's just one loop. And then do our normal half double crochet. Do that all the way along. See, it's got a little different look on the front. We'll be able to tell more after we get past this initial stitch that I did, because we don't want to mess with that. That's just kind of there. It's going to be stitched away. Nobody's going to see it anyway. Whoops, see, lost my hook. That's okay. Just know that the working thread goes towards you. Put some more yarn out here. Oops, we got us a knot. Pull it out gently. Make sure nothing gets knotted up. If you get a knot, get it out as quick as you can. Don't try to tighten it. Put that in there. Holding my thumb on those yarns. Pulling it through all three of them. Wrapping it, sticking it through just that back. Grabbing my yarn, pulling it through all three of them. Okay, I'm just going to crochet along a little bit. You just crochet with me. In a little bit, you'll see what I mean by that ribbing. Ribbing is what makes the hat give a little bit when you put it on. Opens up kind of like an accordion. Okay, I'm going to pause the video again. I'm going to work my way to the end and show you how to do the end one more time.